Let's discuss chainsaw tools. I'm going to run you through all the stuff I carry in my chainsaw tool bag. This is the bag itself. It's a little zippered mech storage bag. I like it. It's pretty heavy duty nylon type material and it's got these little holes. I like that because my stuff tends to get wet. This lets it dry out so my files don't get rusty. Quick note on rust: if you keep everything nice and oily in your chainsaw box, nothing ever rusts. Just a little tip. Save yourself some cleaning. First tool we're going to talk about is your chainsaw tool. This is also called a bar wrench. Bar wrenches consist of a shaft of steel, and they've got a flat screwdriver tip on the end of that. On this end, you've got two different sized hex holes. These allow you to turn nuts. You'll be able to do things on your saw like remove your spark plug, adjust your bar tension, adjust your oiler, all sorts of things. This one is really handy. I use it for a specific saw I have with a full wrap grip. I've cut it down so I don't have to take it off each time. I've made it short enough that I can spin it. That full wrap handle gets in the way if you've got a bigger style like this. As you can see, the gland end is substantially different in length. This is a replacement handle for my starter cord. I carry one of these as well as a replacement starter cord, because if I can't start my saw, it's no good to me. This is a little wire brush. I carry it for cleaning off my saws. In particular, I like to clean off around where I put the oil in for the bar. Bar oil is super sticky, and lots of sawdust and dirt gets stuck in there. I find it difficult to pour new oil in without getting some grunge in there. By using this, I can prevent grunge getting in and jamming on my oiler. This is a bar nut. Older saws have nuts of this style. Newer saws have what are called captive bar nuts. A captive bar nut means that this cannot fall off your bar cover and get lost in the woods. Since I didn't have that on my old saws, I carried a bunch of these because every now and then I'd lose them. They're really hard to find when they fall on the ground, but by carrying extras, you can guarantee that you won't have to stop cutting that day. This is a Sharpie. I use this to mark things such as a tooth on a chain. That way I know when I've come all the way around my chain. It's also really good for labeling stuff in the woods. These are flat files. I use my flat files for adjusting the height of my rakers, also known as depth gauges. Depth gauges is the correct term for them. If you can, you're going to want to get a file with a handle that looks like this, because it's way comfier. I used to have a handle that fit on this, except I broke it. So save yourself a step, get the ones with the square butts. This tool is my big Torx screwdriver. So you can see it's quite long. That makes it easy to get down at difficult to reach places. Chainsaws use Torx on everything, so you're going to want one of these. That big T-handle makes it much easier to spin than a smaller one. This is a mini flathead screwdriver. I've modified it slightly. I've ground the tip finer because I can slip it into the groove in my bar to clean all the shmoo out. You're going to want to have one of these around for adjusting your choke, for cleaning stuff out, for poking and prodding and prying. They're really cheap. I try and keep a couple of these around in my tool bag. These are round files. I use them for sharpening my chain. Depending on what sort of chain you have and what grind you're using, you may not even need round files, but I'm not into square ground chains just yet, nor am I into that new hex chain that Stihl is making. You'll see that I have two different diameters here. That's because I've got two different chain sizes that I run. My 5/32 is for 3/8 micro chain. My 7/32 is for my normal 3/8 chain. I carry lots of these because they go dull quite quickly. The teeth get clogged up and the teeth wear out. When I'm using these, I use these file guides. I find they work much better than something like this. This works well, but it wore out too quick for my liking. You'll see I have two different ones for my different sizes of teeth. I'll show you how to use these in the sharpening video.